Hello everyone, this is Captain Joel and welcome to my latest Marvel Puzzle Quest video. In this video we are going to be looking at Agent Coulson, the newest 4-star character added to the game. As most people know, Agent Coulson is a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. He is mainly in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, although I guess they've been adding him into the comics lately with his own, I guess, Marvel Cinematic Universe comic. Phil Coulson was a top operative for S.H.I.E.L.D., right hand to Director Fury, and key in helping assemble the Avengers. That all ended when Loki killed him on the helicarrier, until he returned, under somewhat mysterious circumstances, to lead his own team of misfit agents on S.H.I.E.L.D. business around the world. Although his left arm was lost and replaced after a war against the Inhumans, he has continued to serve as S.H.I.E.L.D's champion. So he is on the team for the Heroes and Team Cap. I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the TV show, and it's okay. It started off bad, got better, then it got bad again, then it got kind of better, then it got bad again. So it gets kind of predictable after a certain point, although it definitely did have a few twists and turns. But it's an okay show. So the Marvel Puzzle Quest character, he's actually a pretty interesting character. First off, his health is a somewhat higher mid-tier level at 15,641 at level 270, and he is a yellow, purple, blue character, and he seems kind of like a mix of a couple other characters, although I guess at this point in the game that's going to be true for most characters. He's also one of the latest in the line of characters that has skills that have multiple effects depending on various factors like passives as well as actives in one skill. And he's also another one of those characters that's going to be played horribly by the AI on defense, making him not a very good PvP character, but he's got really good skills for offense and for PvE. So let's get right down to it. His yellow skill is called Call the Cavalry. It is a yellow skill that costs 12 yellow AP. Coulson radios in, help is on the way. So at 3 covers, it creates 1 yellow shield commander countdown tile, 1 green shield sniper countdown tile, and 1 purple shield spy countdown tile. Whenever a friendly countdown tile reaches 0, gain 1 random AP. Since he has one of those confusing skill sets that does not actually tell you the effect of his skill until it's used, I thought it would be best to show rather than tell. This is at 3 covers now. So he puts out 3 countdown tiles. So one of them is that yellow shield commander countdown tile. It's 1 turn. And it will create, this is at 3 covers, level 270, create 1 strike strength tile, a strength 168, which is decent, but this costs 12 AP to use this skill. The other countdown tile is green. It's a shield sniper tile. It lasts 2 turns. Shield sniper sets up the shot, deals 1100 damage to the target, and destroys adjacent tiles. So still not that much when it costs 12 AP to use. His purple 2-turn countdown tile is the Shield Spy, and the Shield Spy completes the operation, deals 541 damage to the enemy team. So overall, this is pretty low damage. You are looking at around 227 damage per AP, ignoring the lasting impact of the strike tile being out, assuming it stays out. There's also the other thing to consider is that if all 3 of these countdowns go off, you will be getting 3 random AP, but it might not be in yellow. So it is a very expensive skill, and it does very little damage at 3 covers, and I would never use this skill at 3 covers because of that. So let's see what it looks like when they go off. Okay, simple enough. Nothing special about that. Okay. So it looks like it clears a 3x3 tile area, and that's the spy. So it's an okay skill, but not really worth using at 3 covers ever. In theory, the only difference for the skill at 4 covers is you gain 2 random AP instead of 1 when a countdown tile goes off. In fact, the yellow tile went up from 168 to 189 when it went from 3 to 4 covers. The green sniper tile went up from 1100 to 1337 damage, so again, not a very big increase. Lastly, going up from 541 to 692 for the spy tile. Still, it's only around 284 or so damage per AP at 4 covers. But you're getting a bit more of the AP you spent back. Since you get 2 AP back and you have 3 tiles going off, you're getting back 6 AP. So assuming you have you get AP in colors that you can use, it only costs 6 AP to use this skill, although really it did cost 12 because you had to get that AP to begin with, and the AP you get back might not be in yellow. So it's still not that useful on its own. And at 5 covers, it adds on an extra commander countdown tile. And obviously the damage for everything will increase. So the commander tiles actually stay at the same strength level, but you're just creating one extra, which has a dual effect. One is going to give you an extra 2 AP back, and you have another strike tile out. So not that big of a difference. Going up from 1337 damage, the green sniper countdown does 2,480 damage now. So it's actually doing a decent amount of damage finally. And going up from 692, the spy attack goes up to 1298 damage. So all in, it's still around 530 or so damage per AP, which is not that great a damage ratio. However, it is still worth considering the fact that if all of the countdowns go off, that's 4 times 2, you're getting 8 AP back for a skill that costs 12. Now again, it has to have that AP come back in a color that you can use, and you might not actually get off a lot of these countdown tiles. As many people know, countdowns are unreliable. So overall, this skill is definitely not really worth using as an active skill at anything but 5 covers, but I don't think that it's really worth using in most scenarios because it's just not that high of a damage skill. However, the passive part of this skill is definitely something worth looking at and could very much be worthwhile. So at that, you really just need 4 covers to get that 2 random AP instead of 1 random AP. Although to get the most impact of this skill, you need another countdown tile creator character. So it's definitely an interesting new thing being added to the game, with the ability to actually have something positive when countdown tiles reach 0. His purple skill is called Best Laid Plans, and it costs 8 purple AP. The team's surrounded, but Coulson's cool as can be. Choose 2 basic tiles to charge and then swap. And there is a passive element as well. When you make a match, while you have 6 or more team up AP, spend 2 team up AP to do 1 random friendly countdown timer by 1. So this could help you get the most benefit from his yellow more often, assuming you have the team-up AP necessary. Going up from 3 to 4, it just reduces the countdown timer by 2 instead of 1, which not that much of a difference. And finally, the big impact from going up to from 4 to 5 is you actually do damage with the skill now at 1232 damage. So let's take a quick look at that purple skill, Best Laid Plans. So let's say we want more purple AP. So remember, this skill costs 8 purple AP. So if I make a purple match with it, that's creating a charge tile. So that's going to, that match 3 is actually going to be giving me back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 AP. So right now I have 9. I'm spending 8, which will bring me down to 1. Then I should get 5 back, so I should have 6 AP. Yes, so I have 6 AP. So basically it only cost me 3 AP, and I was able to make a match, move things around, and deal 1700 damage. So that's over 577 damage per AP. You can usually actually make a double match if you wait for the right board, which means you'll do even more match damage and you'll get even more AP back from it. So this is actually an incredibly good skill that has potential to spam it, and this is one of those reasons why the character is not that good with the AI, but can be incredible when you're playing him. And his last skill is Super Secret Tech. It costs 11 blue AP. Huh, so that's what it does. Steal at 3 covers 2 random AP for each friendly countdown tile up to a maximum of 5 tiles. That means that if you were to have used his yellow move either, I guess basically twice under all circumstances to get that maximum out, you will be able to steal up to 10 AP for the cost of 11 AP. So not really all that great. I mean, it's okay, but it costs too much to really be all that useful. It does have a passive, though, that whenever an ally activates a power, creates one random one-turn countdown tile that deals 722 damage. So that can add up a little bit over time, depending on which characters you're using. So that's definitely something to look at. It's not going to really win the match for you, likely, though. But it can end up giving you a lot of countdown tiles going off to have his Call the Cavalry move feeding you AP. So that's definitely another interesting skill, really. In fact, he has 3 passives and 3 actives, which I don't know if any other character in the game actually has 3 passives and 3 actives. That's I don't think there is, so that's an interesting tidbit of information. Maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first character with 3 passives and 3 actives, at least before transforming. I guess Old Man Logan has passive skills, but that's a bit different. So if you go up from 3 to 4 covers, the countdown tile deals more damage, and that's pretty much it. And the amount of AP from goes up from 2 to 3 at 4 and 5 covers. So I guess if you have an enemy that has a lot of AP in each color, then sure, you can steal a bunch. But you know, this is what, 3 times 5 maximum, so that's 15 AP you can steal for 11 AP, which is actually decent, but that means your enemy's going to have that much AP available to steal. And if they have it all in one color, obviously they're going to have used the skill already, so it's going to need to be evenly distributed, really, to get the maximum bang for your buck. So I don't think the active part of this skill is really all that useful. I don't see myself using it that often. Um, so I think that his purple is really his big, crazy good skill. I think the passive aspect of this skill is good, just to create more countdown tiles, but I don't think that part really changes much from 3 to 5 covers, just slightly more damage. And again, this blue, it doesn't do damage. There's a lot of better blues out there that have stuns or massive damage, like Iceman and Peggy Carter's blues. Even War Machine's blue. Thor can stun and create charge tiles with her blue. So there's not a ton of great blues. There's definitely better blues out there than Coulson. So I would probably just keep his blue at 3 and put him at 555, even though his yellow is also not that great and would be just as well at 4. So I don't know, maybe just to be able to have that option to steal the extra AP, it might be worth having him at 454. But I would definitely want to have his purple at 5 in every situation just to really get as much AP match, prolonging your turn as long as possible. So who would make good teammates for Agent Coulson? Well, obviously you want to get the benefit of all of those, the AP you'll be generating from countdown tiles ending, resolving. So you have a couple different options that would work for that. You can try using the very similarly colored Kingpin. You can use his yellow maybe instead of Coulson's yellow, and use his black to deal extra damage. Instead of having Coulson's countdown tiles, the one-turn ones resolve, you can use Kingpins to poke them. You can try to use... I wouldn't bring Deadpool because you'll have a conflict between his purple and Coulson's purple. You could also use Winter Soldier, because with Coulson, although you do have that purple overlap a little bit, Coulson can use his purple to help match the grenade that Bucky has. So that could actually be somewhat useful, and you do have the other countdown tile going off, but it's just a single countdown tile. So you're not going to be getting tons of extra AP rolling in with Bucky. Medusa has her countdown tile going off every 4 turns about with her red skill. So still not that much extra AP is going to come in from this team. Now, where I think it really shines would be using Star-Lord, because Star-Lord has tons of countdown tiles, and what I would do is I would set Star-Lord to 355, so at 5 yellow, Star-Lord reduces purple down from 8 to 6, and remember, we generated with just a match 3 6 AP. So you can essentially have once the enemy launches a skill, you can try to keep matching purple tiles as long as possible to keep your turns going. In addition to that, you can have a bunch of countdown tiles out there and use Oldest Trick in the Book at a higher damage level. Again, you will have to find another teammate, really. First, I would not use him in PvP in almost any situation. But for PvE, you would still have to find a third teammate, because you do have a little bit too much color overlap with the purples and the yellows. So I would keep looking for another teammate. So you still have a few other options. One of them that could work in terms of getting full color coverage and to have additional AP generation is to have Cho, because you can have his black creating more charge tiles to match up, and you can have constant countdown tiles being created with his blue, and you'll have a cheaper green that you can set off. So you'll have some damage and more board control. Peggy also could work a bit. She can hold the enemy off a little bit, and her blue countdown tiles can kind of hold the enemy off for a while as well. So that's another good teammate. Uh, well, I've said before, I'm not really a big fan of War Machine. In theory, you could use his green to get some pretty cheap countdown tiles off. If you're um, using Star-Lord, he'll bring his Gatling gun down to 6 AP in cost. So that could end up getting you back that full 6 AP when Gatling gun resolves or fill up other colors. But I'm just not really a big fan of War Machine, but other people might have different opinions. I would not use Ant-Man, despite him having a couple countdown tile creating moves, because of the similarity in colors. It's just too much similarity for me. Um, an interesting team that I've also come up with when you have that Star-Lord Coulson team is actually Professor X. It's not quite a Winfinite team like with Scarlet Witch and Grey Suit Black Widow, but if you have a Star-Lord who has the highest level, that way you will get generate purple AP whenever you make a match 5. So you can kind of try to keep making match 5s with Coulson's purple and try to drag out your turn as long as possible. It's not quite as reliable as Grey Suit Black Widow, since it relies a lot more on the board setup, but I will actually be showing that to you later. Another really cool team idea is having Captain Marvel. She has the ability to strengthen her, well, any attack tiles actually when a tile resolves, so you'll be both getting AP back and you'll be strengthening strike tiles with all the extra stuff going on. And you'll be able to gain 3 AP if the enemy's making matches in your strongest color and also dealing damage to them. So I kind of like that as well as a potential team. Wasp has actually been buffed recently, and maybe should be talking about that a little bit in another video, but her blue is now going to be going off a lot more often. But I still don't like the whole yellow thing, too much color overlap for this particular team. So I think that those are all kind of viable team options. So I'm going to have a video. I decided to go back to separating my videos where I discuss the character and actually play with them. So I think that those are the best teams though, and I'll show a couple matches with these different teams in a following video. So overall, I think that Coulson on his own is a horrible character. He can't really do all that much. He's not a one-man machine like Hulkbuster or some of the other good characters lately, like Captain Marvel. But I do think that with the right team, he really is an incredible character. And he's really very much a PvE-oriented character. He's just got too many drawbacks for PvP, mainly in the huge amount of skill and planning required to use him properly that the AI will just not do. I would attack somebody using a Coulson any day of the week. I don't care if he's level 400, he still would be pretty much useless in my opinion, and I would attack him every single time I got the chance. So stay tuned for my video where I'm going to be playing matches with him, and let me know what you think if there's any other teams that I might have missed. I think he's also good on a certain 5-star team with the new Hawkeye that just came out, the 5-star Hawkeye. But we'll be talking about that in Hawkeye's video.